Good morning. Thank you all for joining me here today for the presentation of the 2022 proposed Monroe County budget. I'd like to first start by acknowledging the members of my core team who are joining me here today. First, we have Deputy County Executive Jeff McCann, our Deputy County Executive for Health and Human Services, Corinda Crosdale, and Robert Franklin, the Monroe County CFO and Director of Finance. Bob, where are you, Bob? Right here. Bob, thank you. I can't thank you enough for the tremendous work that you and your entire team have done in putting together this year's proposed budget. You guys have done a fantastic job. Let's give Bob a round of applause. I want to thank my entire leadership team who are joining me here today. I want to thank you all for your tireless work, your insight, dedication, and direction in putting together this year's proposed budget. And to the more than 4,500 Monroe County employees who have not let this pandemic stop them from delivering the vital services and programs our residents depend on, thank you. You kept our community going through the greatest health and economic crisis our county has seen in our lifetimes, and it's an honor to work alongside each and every one of you. Today, we're sharing the proposed 2022 Monroe County budget, a budget that continues to bring Monroe back and allows us to plan forward for our future. These goals should not be surprising to anyone in our community. In fact, nothing about this budget should come as a surprise, even down to the location. Make no mistake, we're at the Rochester Educational Opportunity Center at SUNY Brockport's downtown campus for a reason. It was at this very location on February 11th, 2020 that I joined community leaders to receive the Monroe County Transition Report. That report was the culmination of hundreds of hours of work by more than 130 members of our community and laid the groundwork for today's proposed budget. Though I listened more than I talked that day, I recognized the truth that the people of Monroe County are our greatest asset, and I intend to rely on their wisdom and energy to provide a compass for my administration. I shared then what still holds true today, my fundamental belief in that government, led the right way, can be a force for good, a convener of ideas, and a catalyst for unity. It can foster a culture of inclusion where our residents feel welcomed in rather than kept out. That is why you will find that this budget is not filled with last-minute announcements or shocking revelations. What this budget has are common-sense solutions to the problems we face, to problems that affect people's lives. When you have a problem, you solve it. You fix it. That's common sense. I've been clear from the start that I believe the framework for good government starts with a plan. You make a plan, and then you stick to that plan. So here's the plan. We bring Monroe back, and then we plan forward. Budgeting responsibly is about being thoughtful, about being intentional, and recognizing the impact that spending, programs, and taxes have on people. It's about recognizing your problems, creating a plan to address them, and then funding that plan to solve the problem. During my State of the County address in June, I talked about how for far too long this county ran on a fiscal philosophy of all snacks and no dinner. We've been going to the grocery store without a list, and we all know that that's a bad idea. You get home, and it's all about chips, cookies, and ice cream, nothing nutritious, nothing that you can use to actually make dinner. The budget I'm proposing today contains real dollars for the promises and priorities that we've been talking about since I took office nearly 2 years ago. It provides funding and support for the critical programs and services that I've pledged to deliver for the people of Monroe County. These priorities, investing in public safety and health, growing our economy and workforce, and rebuilding our community infrastructure. Recognize that county government must keep our residents safe and well, help them to learn, grow, and thrive, and provide amenities that make them want to raise their families here and call Monroe County home. These priorities are not mine alone. These are the priorities of this community. They are reflected as much in reports and studies as they are in the conversations that I have when I go to my kids' soccer games or when someone stops me to just talk at the grocery store. This proposed budget takes the big ideas we have already articulated, and now we're putting dollars behind them. It's a different position than we were in last year, when our 2021 budget forced us to rethink and to retool so that we could present a responsible budget for uncertain times. Now, the times are less uncertain, and the path ahead for us is clear. We've started a new day in Monroe County as we embark on this community's next 200 years. We will bring Monroe back, and we will plan forward. These two initiatives will work hand in hand as we focus first on our immediate recovery from the tumult of COVID-19 and fully embrace and define the recovery agenda articulated during the State of the County. Then, with input from across our community, we will develop a new comprehensive plan that we are calling Plan Forward, because once we come back, we have to continue to move forward. As former President Barack Obama said, our destiny is not written for us, it's written by us, and we can write that next chapter together, and we will. Make no mistake, the proposed 2022 budget is not merely a plan to bring Monroe back. It's a statement that we've already started to do so. I said earlier that this budget will not come as a surprise, and it's not. But that does not mean what this budget invests in isn't new, exciting, or impactful. The investments we're making in this budget will make us all safer and healthier, will grow our economy and workforce, and will rebuild our community's infrastructure. So here are the details of the 2022 spending plan. Overall, the 2022 proposed budget calls for $1.28 billion in spending, an increase of roughly 3.4% and 2 full percentage points under the national rate of inflation of 5.4%. And we're lowering the property tax rate by 7 cents to an average of $8.46 per thousand of taxable value. This is the lowest tax rate the county has had since 2003. That's right. The people of this county have not seen a tax rate this low since before this year's high school graduates were even born. A tax rate cut that recognizes the stress and uncertainty we've all faced while the pandemic threatened our economy. Last year, we also lowered the tax rate by 26 cents, the largest decrease in the tax rate in nearly 2 decades. Taken together, my 2021 and the 2022 budgets cut this county's tax rate by 33 cents, a bigger reduction in just 2 years than the previous 2 county executives delivered in more than 16. And we've been able to lower the tax rate while still cleaning up the budgetary games and one-shot accounting tricks of the past, like how our prior administrations created a separate fee for ensuring county roads are safe in the wintertime so they wouldn't have to call it what it was, a tax hike. The 2022 proposed budget also eliminates the irresponsible $2.5 million slush fund created by the Republican-controlled legislature to fund pet projects. Slush funds have no place in a responsible budget. None. It's hiding some spending from the public. It's a gimmick, and taxpayers are tired of it. They want government to fix problems and make progress, and that's what we've been doing since I've taken office. My administration's work is paying dividends to taxpayers. In June of this year, S&P Global Ratings increased the county's bond rating to AA-, acknowledging our strong economic managing policies, conservative budgeting practices, and swift response to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is the 4th highest rating issued by S&P Global, and it means that our interest rates are lower and that's saving taxpayers more money. Not only that, but S&P said the county's overall financial management is strong for the first time in more than 20 years. Though we're not out of the woods yet, our revenue streams show that the county is on track for recovery. We are proposed to see an increase of $27.2 million in sales tax, a modest increase of $160,000 in hotel tax, and an increase of roughly $22.7 million in state aid. Our miscellaneous revenues are down by roughly $3 million, but it's almost entirely due to the elimination of tax lien sales. It's another one of those budget tricks from previous administrations and something I promised to get rid of because it hurts our neighborhoods and it worsens the problems created by so-called zombie homes. I said I would do it, and I did. So now let's get more on priorities. Public safety and public health. We all know that they are intertwined. We all know that when people don't feel safe and they don't feel well, they cannot thrive. This budget invests in the hardworking men and women serving in our sheriff's office. Next month, I'll be offering legislation to settle new fair contracts with unions representing our sheriff's deputies. In all, we have increased funding for the sheriff's office by $4.9 million. We're adding 3.4% more funding for our public safety department, 6.1% to the district attorney's office, and 6.1% to the public defender's office. Let me be clear. Law enforcement and the criminal justice system need resources to keep us safe. That's common sense. But public safety isn't just about enforcement. It's also about prevention. Again, public safety and public health are intertwined, like with the opioid and substance use disorder crisis, which has only been made worse by the COVID pandemic, leading to more suffering for our families and our neighborhoods. This budget proposal includes additional funding to ensure that the Improving Addictions Coordination Team will expand to provide 24/7 service to the people of this county. The men and women of impact, they're not just desk jockeys. They're out there every day on the streets making in-person visits with overdose survivors and families. They help guide and support people as they move into recovery. They're people like Alex Benitez who put boots on the ground every day to help lift up struggling people and save lives.
So every morning we get a list of the overdoses that occur in Monroe County, ranging from Brockport all the way out into Fairport. So, we do cover a lot of ground, and we're able to go visit these survivors and try to get them into services. And not everyone is open to services, but you do see a smile just for checking up on them, to seeing where they're at. Once you meet the person, there's a lot of ways you can help them. It's not necessarily just getting them into treatment, but it's just getting to know that person. It's definitely more effective when you are boots on the ground and you're knocking on that door. We're not just going one time, we'll go once, twice, 3 times during the week, try to make contact with that person. Public health and substance use disorder go hand in hand. We're trying to help the general public, face this issue. So I think we're doing a great job, and I just think that we need more people doing this kind of stuff. We're saving lives every time we go out there. Every time we educate someone and they learn trainings on Narcan or how to recognize an overdose or what to do when an overdose happens, that's saving a life. I think this is important. It's something that's needed. It's huge. Just helping individuals try to get better.
And public safety is also about investing in our young people so that they're better prepared to set goals and make positive choices that benefit their lives. To that end, we're putting more dollars in our Youth Bureau by hiring 3 more staff members to work with youth and with teens transitioning out of foster care or detention so that we can smooth their reentry to their families and communities. The American Psychological Association reports that such youth programs aren't just feel-good projects, further noting that independent analyses confirm they significantly cut crime and reduce costs. We're also increasing funding for programs for runaway and homeless youth by $250,000. There's more money in this budget for early intervention services and preschool special education, and we're working closely with the United Way to integrate community-based organizations into our public assistance application and eligibility determination process. For too long, individuals and families in need of help that sets them on a path to sustainable housing, job training, and a brighter future have had to navigate a system that was never designed from their point of view. So with this community integration model, people will be able to reach out to trusted partner organizations right in their own neighborhoods and get the help they need with applications and eligibility questions. This proposed budget also prioritizes our economic development. I'll never forget when I met Beverly, a food service worker at Monroe Community Hospital. She loves working at the hospital, loves the residents there, but told me she struggles because she can make more money working across the street at Costco. And she's right. She was among the more than 600 county employees that last year were making less than $15 an hour. Our community depends on people like Beverly, who shows up for work every day and didn't have the option of working from home throughout the pandemic. We call people like her essential workers for a reason. In increasing the minimum wage for county employees to $15 an hour, we're recognizing the value of people behind the jobs that keep our community moving forward. That pay increase equals an extra $8,200 per year in pocket, or $600 a month, that could be used by our valued employees to pay rent and bills, or to save for a rainy day. That's the kind of change that can really make a difference for our families and our economy. This proposed budget pays for that increase in our minimum wage, which goes into effect on January 1st. At the height of the pandemic, the unemployment rate in Monroe County reached a staggering 16%. Today, our unemployment rate is 4.7% and steadily falling. Statewide, the rate is 7.1%. But now we have a different problem. I'm hearing from employers all across this county that there are not enough workers for all the jobs that we have available. This budget provides for continuing and expanding the Empower program, our extended partnership with Monroe Community College that trains people with essential skills for existing jobs and connects them with employers who are looking to hire now. At Monroe Community Hospital, Empower provides staff with a career ladder, training and education to accelerate job growth and advancement, helping and supporting people as they transition from a certified nursing assistant to licensed practical nurse to a registered nurse. Empower Healthcare helps people like Christina Brown and Troy Kinsey embark on careers that have real opportunities for advancement with employers all across our county, not even just within Monroe Community Hospital.
My name is Christina Brown. I'm in the CNA program.
My name is Troy Kinsey, and I'm a part of the MCC LPO program.
Thanks to Empower, it allowed an independent mom to be the helping hand that I really do want to be.
I was nervous about going to school because of the financial pressure. How am I going to pay for school? And what I'm going to sacrifice to pay for school, you know, and this helped me pretty much take that weight off my shoulders.
I mean, I have bills, I have sons who need to eat, who need shoes, clothes, food. Without this program, I wouldn't be able to be at school. I went from working 4 jobs to telling myself I need to sit down and be in the field I want to be in. I was not in the medical field. I was not where I wanted to be. I was not happy. And I was barely seeing my son. Now I'm going to be able to be around my own child. I'm going to be able to work in the field I want to be in. I'm going to be overall happy.
This right here is this awesome new beginning, a new start to a fresh new chapter.
If I didn't have it, like, I don't know, where would I be?
We're also continuing our work with the Monroe County Industrial Development Corporation on Retain, a first-in-the-nation program that works with college graduates and employers to help keep those graduates here in Monroe County, where they can grow our job market. Government cannot truly serve all of its residents if all of its residents can't participate in opportunity. Last year, I created this county's first Department of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Fully funded in this budget, this department will ensure that all county residents have access to vital information and services, our workforce truly represents our community, and that minority and women-owned businesses are fully considered when this county awards contracts. We cannot bring Monroe back if we leave in place the systems and structures of the past that were designed to push people away from economic opportunity instead of inviting people in. Over the summer, I had the pleasure of cutting a ribbon on the new Alpine Adventure Zone in Northampton Park. It's a beautiful structure, a natural playground designed and built by the hard-working people in our Parks Department. There was such joy there that day. All these kids were running around exploring and playing while their parents watched, and a lot of the parents even joined in. A mom came over to me and said this was the best playground her kids had ever seen, and they begged her all the time to take them back. That's the kind of experience all of us deserve in our county parks. Our parks are second to none in their beauty and second to none in the dedication of the park staff that work there. But they are far from top tier when it comes to some of the facilities. After decades of neglect, we are investing $7.2 million to repair, renovate, and upgrade deteriorating shelters, lodges, courts, access roads, parking lots, and bathroom facilities at all of our beautiful Monroe County parks. This budget pays for all of that go outside Monroe work, which should be complete by the end of next year. We're also continuing renovations at the Seneca Park Zoo, where the Trailside Cafe is expected to be completed next year, and work on the new front entry complex will begin in the fall. Just like our parks and our zoo are key pieces of our quality of life, so are arts and culture. There's no denying that our small and medium-sized arts organizations suffered mightily during the COVID-19 pandemic. I enacted the Jump Starts program last year to help, but that was just a temporary measure because the truth is that this county didn't do enough to support these vital organizations long before the pandemic struck. We're an area known for our arts and culture, and arts and cultural organizations push more than $93 million into our county's economy every year. But for too long, Monroe County has focused its support on larger institutions while leaving crumbs on the table for only a few of our small organizations. I've said I would change this, and I have. The 2022 proposed budget increases funding available for small and medium-sized arts groups by tenfold, an overall increase in available funds for these organizations of $455,000, the first step toward parity. I'm getting to this last one, but it's sure not least, and I said I would not let community baseball leave Rochester because of new standards imposed by Major League Baseball on stadiums for minor league teams. This is our bicentennial year, the 200th anniversary of Monroe County. Think about this. The Red Wings have played here since 1877 in all but 56 years of our county's history. This team has a special place in our community and our quality of life, and as the owner of Frontier Field, this county has responsibility to make sure the Wings get the support that they need. We must show the Red Wings the same commitment they've shown us for the last 144 years. This budget funds $12 million in MLB mandated upgrades so we can be certain that come next spring and many springs after, we'll continue to hear play ball ring out across Frontier Field.
Major League Baseball could already be threatening us. Unfortunately, that is the way it is. They want these upgrades. They don't care if your stadium is brand new or old. You're going to have to come into compliance. I think that under different circumstances, I can be very concerned about the future. The county has been very good, very open-minded, and listened to what our concerns were. You know, they've had in front of them what the major league standards are that they're going to have to look at and bring up to speed in order for Frontier Field to be able to fulfill what they're requiring of us. There are places that teams that don't have that same kind of commitment, and it presents a big problem for them and for their future. Monroe County is celebrating its 200th anniversary this year, and to think that the Red Wings have been part of that history for more than half of that time as the longest standing franchise in minor league baseball, we can't imagine what that would be like for our community to lose this asset. You know, it's the fabric of Rochester. It's part of what makes this community great.
In closing, this is a responsible budget. It's a realistic budget, and it's a common sense budget. This proposal continues to fund important initiatives as we bring Monroe back and look to plan forward. This budget delivers real results for real people and still delivers the lowest property tax rate this county has seen since 2003. We are investing in ourselves. We're investing in public safety and public health, in economic and workforce development, and in rebuilding our community's infrastructure to enhance our quality of life. This spending plan recognizes the stresses our community faces and that the work that this county does, the services it offers, and the support that it provides to people are critically important, especially as we look to recover from the pandemic. Again, presented to you today are common sense proposals funded with sound financial judgment. I've said before, we will bring Monroe back together, and we will. This budget is a plan for how we do that. Thank you.